Erica. Welcome back to Maniacal Reader. Today I'm doing my 2017 reading year wrap-up where I talk about my reading in 2017 and I'm also going to talk about my 2018 reading goals. So first I just want to break down my reading year by genre. The genre I read the most from this year would be new adult romance. I read something like close to 50 books in that genre this year. In terms of other genres, like YA paranormal fantasy, YA dystopian, and YA sci-fi, my numbers for those genres were somewhere in the teens. I noticed a certain trend in 2017 where the beginning half of the year I would read like all new adult romance, but the latter half of the year I really focused on reading more YA dystopian books, since this is something I wanted to focus on in 2017, and I did. I found that I really like YA dystopian and sci-fi, so that's a genre that I definitely want to continue reading in 2018. In terms of like YA contemporary, I only read around 9 books in that genre. I only read a few contemporary romance books. Most of the books that I read were new adult romance. One thing I noticed about 2017 is that in October I made a point of reading paranormal books. I wanted to try adult thriller books, and I found that I really liked that genre. In terms of male and female authors, nearly all of the books that I read were by female authors. The longest book that I read in 2017 would be Winter by Marissa Meyer, and the shortest book would be When We Fall by Kendall Ryan. The average length of a book that I read in 2017 would be 370 pages. Also, my average rating for books in 2017 would be 3.9. I would say overall I had a really great reading year, even though I mostly focused on new adult romance. Now let's move on to the goals that I wanted to set for myself in 2018. I know in past years when I've done videos about reading goals, I usually tell you all the series that I want to read in that year, but this year I actually made a list of a few general goals that I want to accomplish in 2018. I'll talk about the series that I want to read in 2018 in a separate video. The first one would be to read all or most of Sarah Dessen's books. I read a few of her books in 2017 and I actually really like the few books that I've read, so I want to read more from her as an author, and she's a really popular YA contemporary author, so that's why I wanted to start with her first. This leads me to my second goal, which is to read more YA contemporary, since that's a genre that I hardly ever touch. I know I love new adult romance, but I've never really tried YA contemporary, and I own quite a few YA contemporary books that I haven't picked up yet, so I hope to get to some of those this year. My third goal is to just continue reading YA post-apocalyptic and dystopian. That's a genre that I really focused on for the latter half of 2017. I'd really like to focus more on that this year, since there's still a few series that I want to get to in that genre. My next goal is to get back into reading YA paranormal fantasy. The reason why I want to get back to this genre is because I recently finished watching The Vampire Diaries and the originals these past few months, and watching those shows really reignited my love for paranormal, so I hope to get back into reading from that genre this year. My next goal is to try to read at least 3 YA fantasy series, not including Rick Riordan. In December I read the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and I really liked it. I've always said to myself that I should try reading more YA fantasy, since I've had positive experiences when I've read YA fantasy in the past. This is a genre I just never reached for. I do own some YA high fantasy series that I haven't read yet that I'd like to get to this year. Also, another reason behind this goal is that if I like YA sci-fi, why wouldn't I like YA fantasy? Since those genres are kind of grouped together. See if I really like it. I always say that I want to read more YA fantasy, but this year is the year that I really want to try to stick with that goal. My final goal for 2018 is to try reading urban fantasy. Urban fantasy isn't a genre that I'm familiar with. I know this genre deals with paranormal things in an urban setting, so maybe I'd like that genre. I heard that this urban fantasy genre is a little more adult than YA, so hopefully I would like this genre and I'd like to try it out in 2018. We'll see how that goes. That wraps up my reading year in 2017, and those are some of my goals for 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.